Hello and welcome to Simple Country Place. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I have 4 super easy, real life meal ideas for you today. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, welcome, and enjoy. The first thing I'm making is like a hamburger helper situation, kind of like a mac and cheese hamburger helper with some extra jazz. But I have some ground beef browning and I added onions and bell peppers to that. And for seasonings, I'm going to add seasoned salt, garlic powder, and black pepper, as well as Worcestershire sauce, which I know I don't pronounce that correctly, but it is what it is. I don't know how to correctly pronounce it, so you guys can see the label. And side note, I don't know if I mentioned this in other videos, but we also now have a different nephew living with us. So when I refer to him, it's not the same nephew that spread his wings. Now we have another one who's living with us while he goes to college, because he decided to go to school in a town that's near ours and wanted to stay with us for cost purposes. So for the sauce / cheese aspect, I am starting with a roux, melting butter, adding flour, that same situation that I do for mac and cheese. And then once that cooks for a little bit, adding half and half. And then for seasonings, adding ground mustard, chipotle chili powder, black pepper, and parsley. And I don't like to add salt when I do this, because I feel like the cheese melt that I prefer to use is pretty salty. I mean, it's like the off-brand of Velveeta, so I don't think it needs the salt. But again, I am not a professional, so this is just inspiration. You do you, man. So as you can see, added that cheese melt and letting that melt down. And once that mixture has come together, I had cooked some noodles on the side that I'm adding those to, or adding those into the sauce, and then I will be adding the ground beef mixture. I also added some extra shredded cheese it melts nicely, it gets that cheese pull aspect. Added that in, and I just served that with crescent rolls that out of the tube that I'd made, as well as some cooked squash and zucchini. And yeah, husband enjoyed this, the nephew really liked it. He's kind of a simple man, so on this night I am making chicken enchiladas. So I have a diced chicken breast that I started cooking, and then to that I added bell peppers and onions. And for seasonings, I added cumin and taco seasoning. I drained and rinsed some black beans, so I'm adding that in and just letting that like cook with the chicken and veggies and heat up all together. And I'm actually using like green enchilada sauce for this dish. So I had a baking dish that I poured a little bit of the green enchilada sauce in the bottom to like coat the bottom, and then I'm just rolling the enchiladas with the chicken and bean mixture into tortillas and then putting those into the baking dish. And obviously it's just the three of us, me and my husband and my nephew, so I'm not making like a huge amount. So I think I just made 3 because my nephew kind of eats like a bird. So he had 1, my husband had 2, and then I had like kept some of the black beans aside to make my own dinner later. So after I had those rolled, I did have like some of the chicken and bean mixture left. So I did a layer of sauce and then I just added the rest of that chicken and bean mixture. I mean, I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I didn't want it to go to waste. So I put that on there, level it out a little bit, and then of course added the rest of the sauce and then cheese on the very tippy top. So taco blend cheese. And then I cooked that, or I covered it and then cooked it in the oven for the, everything to heat up nicely and make it all enchilada-y and all those things. And I served that with lettuce, tomato, and taco sauce, which is my husband's favorite. My nephew doesn't love tomatoes, so he had his without them, but we're easy peasy around here. This night I don't have any videos, but I made pulled pork in the crock pot, which I've made before. I served that on hamburger buns with vegetables and a baked sweet potato. This night I made breakfast for dinner, and I had some eggs that I'd scrambled, and then I added that Coffee Mate French vanilla creamer and cinnamon to it. And then, of course, I dipped my bread and put them in a fry pan to start making the French toast. I'm also, with the French toast, going to make omelets. And so I have some more scrambled eggs and added salt, pepper, and parsley to them, as well as a smidge of seasoned salt. And that'll be like my base of the omelet. And then while I was doing this, I also had some broccoli sauteing because I wanted to make like broccoli omelets. So, which I don't know if that's weird, but in my house we like them. So I had that just like cooking a bit, so it wasn't like raw broccoli in the omelet. I'd melted some butter in my omelet pan and then pouring that egg mixture in, and once that was like to the point I wanted it, so like a disc essentially, I added the sauteed broccoli and then some cheese, and then folded it over to make the omelet, which this one didn't turn out the greatest, but I made more and they got prettier as they went. So and of course did it multiple more times. So here's me finishing it off, making the last omelet, And I served those omelets with obviously the French toast and then some sausage patties that I heated up. And my husband really enjoyed this, nephew liked it, and I had French toast and the omelet, and it was super good. So thank you so much for watching. Please come back for future videos.